Hello, my name is Barry Wiss, Certified Wine Educator and President of the Society of Wine Educators. What is wine? Wine has been around for a really long time, since about 5000 BC. Why do you think it's been around for so long? Wine is easy to make. It's simply yeast eating the natural fermentable sugars in grape juice. The main product of this sweet feast is alcohol. Now, why do you think we choose grapes for this noble task? Any fruit juice with fermentable sugars can make wine. You could say grapes are higher on the fruit evolutionary ladder. Let's take Chardonnay, for example, America's most popular wine. Chardonnay is often described as having aromas of ripe apple, juicy pear, and lemon. When you smell these aromas in Chardonnay, you're actually smelling the same components that make an apple smell like an apple, a pear smell like a pear. The list of aromas is almost limitless when it comes to the potential of grapes. Grapes are amazing. They are responsible for all the great wines we enjoy. When a particular grape is grown in a distinguished area, it can possibly show us the true potential of not only the fruit itself, but also the region from which it came. Have you ever heard of the saying, good wine tastes like a grape? A great wine tastes like a place. When harvest begins, white wine grapes are usually the first to arrive at the winery. This makes them less susceptible to rot and frost damage than red grapes, which can ripen up to a month later. Although there are often exceptions when it comes to the world of wine, white grapes almost always go directly to the wine press after crushing and distemming. White wines are rarely fermented on their skins. Next, when making the very best red wines, red grapes are hand-sorted to eliminate inferior grapes. The grapes are destemmed and fermented on their skins. Red wines get all of their color, considerable complexity, and structure from the skin of the grape. It is possible to make a white wine from a red grape by simply removing the skins prior to fermentation. Just about all grape juice is clear. After the juice fully ferments, it may be transferred to oak barrels for aging. Most red wines and some white wines, such as Chardonnay, are often aged in oak barrels. When most people think of wine, they think of wine barrels. Ironically, only about 10% of the wines in the world are actually aged in oak barrels. Think of oak barrels like a giant spice rack in a chef's kitchen. As spices add flavors to food, oak barrels add flavors to wine. But most wines are not complemented with the flavors of oak barrels. Most wines are the pure expression of the grape variety, and these can become some of the most fascinating wines in the world. The winemaker's job is to achieve balance when making wine, bringing together the essential components: sugar, acid, alcohol, and tannin. Tannin, the drying sensation which comes from the skins, stems, and oak barrels. Wines can be classified in varying levels of sweetness. They can range from a dry Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, or Cabernet Sauvignon, to an off-dry wine like White Zinfandel, or Rieslings, or even Chenin Blanc. Building to even higher sugar levels in sweet, lush wines such as Moscato and Port. Wines with abundant fruit character may appear sweet when they are actually dry. Depending on a winemaker's preference, the degree of sweetness may vary in a particular wine. Critical to wine is the component of acid. Most importantly, it brings structure and focus to wine. Wine too low in acid would lack that refreshing, flavor-enhancing quality and would be described as flabby or dull. Acidity is a preservative of flavor and color. It protects against bacteria and premature aging. Overall, white wines usually have higher acid levels than red wine. As we mentioned, tannin is the dry or astringent mouthfeel. It comes from the grape skins, seeds, stems, and oak barrels. Tannin in full-bodied red wines, such as Cabernet Sauvignon, Zinfandel, give form and backbone and act as a natural preservative. The impressive trio of sugar, Acid and tannin allow wine the ability to age and endure, and possibly improve with the passage of time. Let us not forget alcohol, which is the body-building component in wine. Warmth being the key sensation, alcohol is what lifts those aromas out of the wine glass. When wine is in balance, the alcohol is beautifully integrated into the overall impression of the wine. After learning about these key components, it often comes as a surprise to learn that wine is 85 to 95% water. The pleasure of wine. There are many to discover and enjoy. So grab a glass of wine and let's review. Wine has been enjoyed around the world for a very long time. How long? About 5,000 BC. Red wines attain their full colors and much of their complexity from the grape skins. The dry mouthfeel, which comes from the skins, seeds, stems, and the oak barrel, is called tannin. Approximately what percent of wine in the world is aged in oak barrels? About 10%. Wine is mostly water. I hope you enjoyed learning about what is wine. Cheers.